We're going to go back to your money and how the rest of the world might be affecting our money. Sitt is with us. He's the chairman of Thor Equities, and we welcome him back to the show. First of all, what's happening in the rest of the world at this moment for our market dominated by the China trade talks, which are back on again next month? I think that's a positive, don't you?
Certainly. I was the one, if you remember, about a year ago that was very, very bearish on an early resolution, but a confluence of things are coming together at the same time, mostly China-based. China's got a slowdown in their economy. They've got some political issues, as we know, in Hong Kong. And last but not least, we've got the Communist Party meeting coming up.
And you think that pushes them towards some kind of deal?
Yeah, and probably, listen, as the president of the country is criticized greatly, maybe I would say his weakness was not understanding the Chinese culture, the need to show face, but he also had an understanding of the fact that when negotiating with Chinese, traditionally students of that culture say patience is a virtue. He's carrying a big bat, but patience is the virtue. And I would say that there are other forces that scare me more in the world and still relate to politics. I often think of James Carville's guidance to Clinton, and he put it up in the office, and he said, "It's the economy, stupid." Well, my message to everybody in the business world, and even political, would be the reverse. I say, it's the politics, stupid. And so goes the political atmosphere, and so goes business. And I think one of the greatest examples is live today. First, we saw it a year ago in Mexico with AMLO coming into power and the economy starting to weaken, stock market fall. The best example was 2 weeks ago in Argentina. When everybody saw Macri suddenly falling in the polls, you saw the stock market crash. You saw currency crash.
Well, their market, their currency.
Yes, but because of leftist politics. I'm a hypocrite because I'm a political independent.
So I'm trying to get
that leftist extremism I view as the biggest risk to the political world, even greater than the China trade situation.
But that's not bitten us yet. I mean, you're right. I mean, leftist politics is rearing its ugly head all around the world, from Venezuela, I guess you could call Iran kind of leftist, I guess you could, Argentina, Mexico. But it's not biting us at this point, not at all.
You know, the other issues, be it Iran, North Korea, conflict South Korea versus Japan or Kashmir, that's more global conflict type of issues. That's a tail risk we can't guesstimate. We got to pray we don't have nuclear conflict, et cetera, et cetera. But in terms of who wins the leadership of the various countries, yes, that can have a big influence on business and the economy.
But I'm not going to invest my money now on the basis of a perceived leftist threat in some parts of the world down the road.
You ready? That's what you're saying today because you're managing live TV that's driven by today's politics. I want to see what you're going to say in 1 year from today if you even get a whiff of leftists having any chance of beating the Trump or a pro-business presidential candidate. And does that make people suddenly pull back in? If you look in Argentina, they didn't even have the final election yet. All it was the primary run where what they thought would be the front runner Macri came in number 2 out of 5 people, and their stock market literally cratered. People cannot afford to pay for food over the last 2 weeks.
By the spring of next year, we'll be in the middle of primaries. By the summer, we'll have the conventions. You're telling me that if there's a slightest hint that the left wins the presidency in 2020, I should sell? Is that what you're saying?
I would say yes, the most extreme leftists. Again, I'm a political independent. I'm neither Republican, I'm neither Democrat. But if we hear too much negative business rhetoric coming from the politics to be able to win their primaries or win the final campaign, yes, I think that puts the business environment in general in the United States, and so goes America, so goes the world.
I think you're right, Joe. I do. I do. Oh, and come back in a year's time and see what I'm saying, because I will still be here, God willing. Okay? Joe, it was a pleasure to have you back. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
Welcome.
Yes,
Pleasure.
sir.